Okay, so we're going to be continuing practicing writing those expressions, solving an equation, and of course substituting into those variables at the end to find some missing values. So the very first thing that we have here is that we're told that we are writing four expressions. Four expressions, and of course we're using let statements. The let statements describe the expressions for us. So, Kyle's saving some money. Clinton saved $24 less than Kyle. And Keith saved half as much as Clinton. Okay, so we need to, of course, say who is the first one that we don't know. Who's the first one we need to know? That, in this case, would be Kyle. Kyle's saving some money. So we're going to say let's say K equal the amount of money Kyle saved. And of course, that's so far. I'm sure they're all going to say more money. The next thing is that Clinton saved $24 less. If something's less than, it means we're going to be taking away. So we're taking away 24. So we're going to say let K minus 24 equal the amount of money Clinton saved. And I also do want to remind you that your let statement descriptions need to be very specific so that it's very, very clear what's going on. Keith saved half as much as Clinton, half. So to find half of something, I need to divide it by 2. And it says half as much as Clinton. Well, Clinton saved K minus 24. So the thing that we're going to have to divide in half is K minus 24 in its entirety. So let K minus 24, the entire thing is going to be divided by 2. So it needs to look like this. Some of you are still writing this. I remind you, you are in 7th grade and we don't write division like that anymore. So here we are. Let K minus 24, or the quantity of K minus 24, divided by 2 equal the amount of money, and this is Keith saved. Okay. Now the next thing it says is that we want to figure out the total. How do we find a total? We add them all together. So Kyle saved K, Clinton saved K minus 24, and Keith saved the quantity of K minus 24 divided by 2. So we need to add those three things together. So I'm going to have let K, that's how much Kyle saved, plus K minus 24, and that's how much Clinton saved, plus the quantity of K minus 24, oops, that's a 4, and the entirety of that divided by 2. And that's going to equal the total amount saved. Okay, so we figured out how much each person saved, or at least wrote expressions for each. And now it appears that we find out that Clinton saved $51. So that means we need to go back to the expression that we wrote for Clinton, and that was K minus 24. Well, this is telling us K minus 24 is equal to Clinton, and so also is the 51. So K minus 24 equals 51. Now, we had worked on starting to solve these, and I know that a lot of you really like the flowcharts because it's easier to understand, but you really need to know how to apply the ideas from the flowcharts into a regular algebraic expression. So the question we always ask is, what's the opposite? So in this case, what's the opposite of minus 24? Or negative 24? Some of you like to think about it like that. Well, the opposite of minus or negative 24 is positive or plus 24. Of course, it's going to do that on both sides of the equation because it has to remain balanced, like a seesaw being balanced. So now we know that we are going to get rid of those two. They cancel each other out because they're opposites. And I'm left with k equals 51 plus 24. Well, 51 plus 20 is 71, plus 4 more is 75. Okay, so now let's take a look at this. We've got Kyle. The expression for Kyle is k, and we now know that k equals 75. Simple substitution, Kyle saved $75. Okay, so next we had Clinton. That was the next person that we wrote an expression for. Of course, I know we just used this, but let's be fair about this here. The expression for Clinton is k minus 24, which I know we used up top. We're going to substitute in, make sure we end up where we started. We know that k is equal to 75. So if I've got 75 minus 24, well, 75 minus 4 is 71. Take away 20 more, that is $51, which we were told up here. So that means we must be doing something right. So the next person we have is Keith. And I know that this looks funny for some of you, but you've got to make sure that you are writing them the correct way. So for Keith, he has the quantity of k minus 24. The reason I say it like that, even though it's not parentheses, is because you know that you need to do that first prior to splitting it in half. So we know that k is equal to 75. So we've got 75 minus 24 divided by 2. 75 minus 24. Well, 75 minus 4 is 71. Take away 20 more, that gives us 51. Of course, you already knew that, but we need to go through the math to make sure that we know. 51 divided by 2. Well, I would hope that you know that 50 divided by 2 is 25, and then we're going to take away that 1, but we need to divide it in half, so it's going to be 25, 50. Okay, so obviously I don't have enough room here to find how much they saved in total. And don't forget using the expression that we wrote. So for the total, the expression that was written was k plus k minus 24 plus k, the quantity of k minus 24, divided by 2. And now every time I see a k, I'm going to put in a 75 because that's what I figured out that k is equal to. So I've got 75 plus 75 minus 24 plus 75 minus 24 divided by 2. Okay, parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, in order from left to right. Well, in order to address this right here, I do need to know a few things. So let's start out. I know that I need to do that 75 minus 24 before I can divide it by 2. I realize that's out of order to what our rules for the order of operations is. However, we know that this thing up top needs to be done in its entirety before it can be divided by 2, or any other number for that matter. So 75 minus 24, we've done twice. We now know is 51 divided by 2. Half to 50 is 25. Half of $1 is 25.50. So that's how much we are for this side of the room, or this side of the problem. It's funny. So I'm rewriting the rest of the problem so we didn't lose any of it. And now I'm going to add in order from left to right. So 75 plus 75 is 150. That should be easy. Minus 24. Oh. Okay, I see what I did here. 75 plus 75 minus 24 plus $25.50. So 150 minus 24 is, of course, 126 plus $25.50. 126. Well, 126 plus 20 more is 146. Plus 5 more is 151. Plus that 50 cents. So we know that the total is $151.50.